Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Here we have my Radio Club's Kenwood TM-255E. It's a 2-meter all-mode transceiver. One evening I asked them if I could get the radio out and plug it in, but one of the members told me that the radio has a problem with a power cycle. Basically you plug it all up and it would turn on and then turn off again. So I asked the chairman if I could bring it home and just have a look at it. I'm not electronically trained, I've not got any qualifications, I've just done ham radio and learnt from that over the years. First of all, I plugged it in and I could replicate the fault. It would literally power on, turn off. So I just left it on the side for a bit and then I was able to get it to power up and have a QSO, but then it just went completely dead on me. So the first thing I noticed was this was the original power lead. What I had done is hot glued this because the connector inside wasn't seated correctly and it's probably a bit loose now, and it just, both of them, mainly the black one, would pull out and this one would come out and it just touched together, which then gave me another problem. So that was one thing. So I'd done a little search online and come across a IO group that was dedicated to the 255. Someone had done a bit of deeper diving into why it wasn't powering up properly. I'll put a link into the description, but there was a capacitor that needs changing in the main head unit, which helps resolve that issue. Also, they talked about some other modifications. One was for the memory backup battery. This one's gone as well. So while I was sort of having a look at this, I thought I'd just do the memory backup battery as well. What I'll do is I'll remove the cases and show you some of the bits. Unfortunately, I didn't record the repair at all because I wasn't too sure if I could actually fix it. But now, knowing that I've got the radio working, it powers up, and I'll show you that later on. But I just wanted to show you what needs to be done, also with the links, just a visual help if you ever come to removing the lids and getting to the radio. So bear with me while I just take off the screws, take off the lids and get the head unit off. Unfortunately, this one is the clips inside the head unit are broken, so it has to be stuck down with a bit of tape. And I've also just noticed that that button's missing as well, which is a bit annoying. Might be somewhere in one of the boxes, hopefully. So bear with me while I remove the screws and I'll start showing you the capacitor, where it is and where it needs to be changed, and also the backup battery. And also I damaged one of the capacitors and how I got into there and changed that. So I'll be back in a second. Right, I've just taken all the screws out and taken the lids off. I didn't think anyone would really want to watch me start removing screws. So this is the main head unit, and this comes off. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. There is a plate to come off which has the lead that goes to the main unit, but this pops off. And you don't need to go any further with the board and remove it out. It's literally, here is C6, just right there. And there is a surface mount capacitor. I can't remember the value, I think it was like 0.01K. And there was one value that was documented, but others had mentioned a 1 UF tantalum bead, so that's what I ordered. Reads 105, and I just took the old surface mount off carefully because obviously there's traces underneath. Cut the leg short on both and then was able just to solder that in place, and that is the major issue for the powering on off cycle. And that resolved that straight away. So that component there, so pretty easy if you're careful to get to. So that was the first one. I've taken off the front panel just out of ease so you can see this main back unit. So there's only 3 jumper wires and they connect into 1, 2 and 3 over there, but I've just taken it off. You can literally tilt it out the way and that'll be no problem at all. So the original battery in the unit, get out the little packaging here, was this type. I'll show you a picture of it in situ. But that was the battery. One of the modifications in the IO group was to actually replace it with an easy removable cell type of case, the coin, so I can easily just literally push these two together and that will pop out. So you can easily replace the battery now. It saves trying to solder in new ones each time. Surprised that manufacturers didn't really do this. There's obviously a few complaints with the 7300 with the batteries and stuff like that. So this is quite easy because you've got quite big solder pads there. Just make sure you get it the right way round, and it'll just make it easier for anyone else who has the radio to replace the memory backup battery. So that was the second mod to do. Just be careful if you do any of the traces because you've got quite a few around there. But I had this, lucky enough, this cell case in one of my junk box from, I don't know what project it was from. I must have removed it out of something, but it's come in handy now. So the little accident that I done with the power cable, and I'll show you a picture. I removed the board and I'll show you a picture of this capacitor, which I've got here as well. Just move that out of the way. Hopefully you can see that. You can see that it's literally bulged out. But I'll show you a picture of the PCB. So this one was a little bit more tricky, and I was a bit hesitant at doing it at first, but what I needed to do was remove the Mitsubishi block. So I desoldered all the pins, and then I removed the Mitsubishi block, which then allowed me to unscrew 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, 6, 7, there's one behind here, 8, and there's one in that corner, 9. Done that, and then I removed all the leads. So there's a socket there. Then I removed this one. To get the DC out, there's a clip. This is actually a clip that holds that in. There's also a metal clip that holds, I think that might be a regulator. So you have to lift that off as well. Then this coax jumper, ribbon cable, and this is for the fan. You're better off, you could probably leave that in, but I took it out just to free it up, not knocking the board or anything else like that. So I took this out. This was easy unsoldered there, and there is a pin just there soldered for the ground. And that popped off, and then I could get behind the board and replace that. It was a bit tricky, removing all the bits and pieces, especially this. You've got to be careful of the legs on the Mitsubishi block, because if you break one of those, it's probably going to snap off right where you don't want it to snap off. So just be careful if you have to ever do that. There's talk on the groups where people are doing a lot of the capacitor recaps. I didn't really want to do any of them. They look all right at the moment, so I left them be. If it was working, once I'd done the bits and pieces, I tested it out and realised it was working. So I thought, I'm not going to start disturbing other bits and pieces. If it's currently working, I'll leave it be, and then if the club ever decides it needs to be done or something else goes wrong, but it's a lot to start dismantling it really if it's in a working state. So what I'll do now is I'll put it all back together again. I'll show you it powering up now. Unfortunately, I can't show you a video of me with the fault prior to it because I didn't know if I was going to get it repaired, to be honest. But I'll show you a picture, just a quick video of it working now. Hopefully this will be useful to you if you've got one of these and you're experiencing the same problem. I'm just showing you a video of how to get to bits and pieces on the radio because it was just pictures provided on the IO group. So I'll put it back together and then I'll come back with it on the power meter and just show you it up and running and not shutting off anymore. So I've got the radio on the other bench now, and as you can see it's powered on. It'll turn off, boot back up again, which is good. We've got control on the VFO. So that all seems to be working. Just turn it down. Got static, and buttons seem to all work, which is good. So what I will do, let me just go down to a bit of a clearer frequency. So if I put this on to the 200 watt scale, we're going to be reading this middle scale. It says 50 watts here. Just try and bring you a little bit closer. You should see the on-air light come on. So if I key up, let's be in the right mode. Just over 40 watts. This is M5 LOW testing. And if I go to low power, we're reading the next scale down, so 5, 10, 15, 20. And the needle is just on the 5. M5 LOW testing. I haven't tried this on sideband, so what I can do quickly now on upper sideband, pull this out, we'll go back to high power, put the processor on, and if you just watch the needle, hopefully you can see that alright with the light. Let's just put a bit of light on there now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mike 5, Lima, Oscar, Whiskey testing. And there you go. So that's the output there. Go to the low. 1, 2. There you go. So that's that. So it all seems to be running fine now. Sorry about the light there. I should have got some light ready. But the radio is working fine. I just wanted to just give you a bit more of a visual demonstration, except for the pictures. I take no credit for the modifications. They're all documented on the IO group. I think it was an Belgium station, ON4 station, I can't remember. But again, I'll put the call sign all in the description so you can find it. Great little 2-meter radios if you ever see them. Obviously, bear in mind they're quite old now, so you could start to find some of the problems with the power up. If it is a power up and someone says it's a power up issue, hopefully this video will help you to resolve that, and that's what the issue is. It's a great little all-round radio, really. I quite like it. Nice Kenwood style. I like with the the different beeping, make the sounds it makes, easy controls all across the radio. We've got 145 alive in April, so I might ask the club if I can borrow it, take it to a little high spot, and just see who I can work, see how well the receiver is. I can do a test on the Tiny SA, I suppose, and do some receiver tests on that. But I just thought you'd show you this quick video of some of the mods that you can do to the TM-255. The first thing I done was come on YouTube, and I didn't see nothing, and that's when I done the web search. So hopefully if you found this, then it will lead you to the IO group, and you can post on there if you've done a repair yourself. Thanks for watching. 7-3.